Golden sand dunes stretched to the edge of the world, shifting under a sun that turned the air into a physical weight. The herd moved in a slow, rhythmic line, hooves sinking into the burning ground with every step. Young Camel watched the sand swirl around his legs. He saw the others moving with purpose, their heads held low against the wind. He stopped, his hooves sliding to a halt beside a small, dried-up pool. The water was barely a smear on the cracked earth, yet it caught the light. He leaned down, staring at his own reflection. He saw the same lines, the same shape, the same features he had seen every day. He let out a long, hollow sigh. "Why am I so plain?" he whispered. "Everyone says I am special, but I look exactly like the others." The silence of the desert was his only answer. The wind tugged at his hand, but he did not move. He felt like a drop of water in an endless ocean, indistinguishable and lost. Behind him, the rhythmic crunch of hooves grew fainter. He was falling behind, trapped by the image in the dirt, wondering if he would ever be anything more than just another face in the herd. Mother Camel nudged the young one forward with a firm push of her snout. "Stay close to the group." "We have a long way to go," she urged. The heat climbed, turning the sky into a furnace. Every breath felt like inhaling dust. A lizard scrambled into the narrow shadow of a rock, panting, its sides heaving. The heat was unbearable. It whispered as they passed. Young Camel laughed, his tongue dry and heavy, his legs dragging through the shifting dunes. "Mother, I am so thirsty," he cried, but his voice was thin, swallowed by the shimmering horizon. The nearest water was days away, a distance that felt like a death sentence. Suddenly, a shadow darted across the path. Desert Fox leaped onto a high dune, blocking their way with a sharp, calculated grace. He circled the herd, his yellow eyes scanning their trembling knees and bowed heads. He let out a sharp, jagged laugh. "Give up," he sneered. "No one can cross this desert. You will never make it." The herd halted. Young Camel bowed his head, his legs shaking under the strain of the sun and the weight of the fox's words. Hope felt as thin as the air itself. The air did not just grow cold, it fractured. The wind pivoted, shifting from a dry breeze to a violent, howling roar that tore across the dunes. Within seconds, the sky vanished behind a wall of moving earth. It was a beast of sand, rising hundreds of feet high, blotting out the sun and the horizon. Grit lashed against their skin like needles, stinging their limbs. The herd huddled together, pressing their bodies tight against the shifting floor of the desert to keep from being swept away. Young Camel buried his face in the sand, his eyes squeezed shut, feeling the dunes vibrate as the storm hammered them. Every breath was a risk, filling his nose with thick, suffocating dust. They were pinned, immobile, waiting for the end. Old Camel lifted his head, his neck muscles straining against the wind. He looked upward, looking for a gap in the swirling chaos. "Nature, grant us the strength to endure this trial," he bellowed. His voice raw and desperate, cutting through the scream of the wind. He held that gaze toward the glowing, hidden sky, waiting for an answer that seemed impossible in the face of the encroaching dark. The sky ripped open. A beam of brilliant golden light descended, cutting through the swirling dust and pinning the herd to the dunes. It did not burn, it pulsed. Young Camel felt a sharp, sudden pressure at the base of his spine. He gasped as the skin there stretched and hardened, rising into a firm, rounded mound. Beside him, Mother Camel shuddered, her own back curving upward under the weight of the light. The transformation rippled through the entire herd, a physical reconfiguration that felt like iron hardening in a forge. The pressure was intense, then settled into a steady, rhythmic hum of vitality. The exhaustion that had anchored them to the soil evaporated. Young Camel reached back, his hooves scraping the ground as he tested his new balance. The soft, firm hump of his spine felt like a storm. Young Camel pulled back, his muzzle dripping, and caught his reflection in the still surface. He looked at the hump on his back, no longer seeing a flaw, but a reservoir of life. From the shadows of a distant dune, Desert Fox watched, his expression shifting from disbelief to realization. That hump is not a deformity, he muttered. It is a gift of survival. Young Camel turned his head toward his mother, his gaze steady and clear. The very thing I once called a flaw is what keeps me strong, he said. As the sun began to sink, painting the dunes in long, deep shadows, the herd walked forward into the light. They moved with grace, the guardians of